Hi everybody, this is the first video of my channel and today I'm going to tell you how to take care of this beautiful plant named peace lily. Did you know that NASA had done a clean air study and had made a list of air purifying plants, and in it peace lily was at the top of it because it purified all the impurities from the air like benzene, formaldehyde, trichloroethylene, and as well as xylene. So with its benefits of purifying air, it is also kept as an house plant. In nature, what happens in that in rainforests many big trees grow and cover up the place and make a roof of leaves and branches, so very less sunlight can get through it. And in those conditions there's a lot of humidity in the atmosphere, and in those conditions plants like peace lily, snake plant, anthurium grows, and some etc. like Dieffenbachia and Chinese evergreen also grow in those conditions. So it grows in very less sunlight. And what happens that when it rains, the water went to the soil and the plants get water. Since the canopy has covered the soil layer, the water doesn't get evaporated fast. So there is a lot of humidity in the air. So whenever you keep a peace lily, you have to keep in mind two things: moisture as well as light requirement. Peace lily likes bright and indirect light, so do not keep in full sunshine. If you will keep in full sunshine, you are going to end up with sunburns like this. And there was another example, let me show you this one. So do not keep it in full sunlight. And as per for moisture, you have to mist it regularly like this. Misting will help in keeping the plant cool and nice in summers. In summers you need to give it regular misting. But what happens if you cannot mist? If you are busy? Then I am going to show you another way of keeping the plant in a humid environment. This is called the humidity tray method. In a tray, normal tray which we keep our plant pots, so water does not spills. We fill it up with pebbles, any kind of pebbles of your choice, rocks. We fill it up with water. You have to keep in mind that the pebbles should be higher than the water. The pebbles should not be submerged, and you have to take your peace lily and almost all the indoor plant which you have and keep it above it. But you have to make sure one thing in mind, that the water should not touch the soil or the pot. Otherwise what will happen, the soil in the pot, due to capillary action, what will happen, the soil in the pot will suck up all the water under the tray and will keep the soil soggy, and you will not be wanting a dead plant. Soggy soil will make the roots rot and the plant will eventually die. So you have to make it sure that the water does not touches the pot. Watering. Like normal plants, you can take your watering can and water peace lily. But in this case, what has happened, I filled up the pot a bit too much. So what will I do to water it? If I will water it normally, then the soil will spill. So there's even another way to water it. For that you have to take an empty tray with nothing and place the pot in it. Pour water until it reaches the rim of the tray and keep it like this and see. Slowly, due to capillary action, the soil in the pot will suck up all the water and it will go up to the top. See, if the soil is moist like this, I'd water it recently, so the soil is moist. Then what you have to do is to take out the plant when it is watered. Fertilizing peace lily. Like every other living being, it needs food to grow. And to grow, plants needs fertilizer. How do we do fertilizing in peace lily? In peace lily, you can give different kinds of fertilizers like bone meal, vermicompost, and etc., which is available to you. But in its flowering stage, do not give it a lot of chemical fertilizer, because what will happen if I will give NPK while it's flowering. I have an example to show you. Last week I'd given this plant NPK 19-19-19 ratio, and what happened, it had a complete white flower and it turned green because there was nitrogen in it. So what happens, nitrogen helps the leaves to photosynthesize and chlorophyll, so the flower turned green. The spade, actually, what we call this a flower, but it is not. The white thing or the big one behind it is the spade. That's why peace lily is also called spathiphyllum. The actual flower is this one. This helps in pollination. Actually, sorry, not in pollination, but what happens? The spathe is actually the corolla of the flower, and it attracts different kinds of pollinators like bees, butterflies, and etc. The bees will be attracted to bright colors and sit on top of it from one plant to another. So what will happen? They will pollinate the plants. This is the actual flower. Propagation of peace lily. From time to time, when peace lily grows, it makes new plants like this in a cluster and grows in a cluster. Like, you can get a better view in this one, I think. Like, see in this. So there's two plants, 1 and 2. So how to propagate it? First, what you have to do is that you have to take the plant out of its pot and wash the soil if you are using garden soil. But peace lily likes soft soil, so you can plant it in a cocopeat potting mixture. Yes, so what you have to do, take out the root ball and tear it gently, because if you tear it harshly or quickly, you may damage the root, and the root will leave an open wound which can be infected from fungus and other bacteria. So you have to take the root ball off and gently tear the plants. I mean, you have to pick the plants. Gently pull the plants and you are safe from fungus and other infection. Even by chance, if you break a root or a stem, so cover it with cinnamon powder or any fungicide available to you. When you have sunburn in leaves like this one, then what you have to do is to take a pair of scissors and cut it in an angle a bit lower, just like this. What will happen in this is, if water ever stops it misting, it will just slide down from the angle and will not sit there and have fungal infections. Toxicity. Peace lily, like some of the other indoor plants like Chinese evergreen and Diphynvacea, is toxic. It is midly toxic to humans, animals, and yes, also to animals and children. So be sure in mind to keep this away from pets like dogs or cats and children. Thank you for watching this video. and let me show your comments if you have any other ideas. Bye.